I don't care if I'm in the heat of the moment. I don't care if I'm off of the insane amount of hype and just greatness flowing through my veins. I don't care. I'm gonna say this right here and now, man. This was my favorite action chapter in the entire series. In the entire series, bro. I don't know if there's any other action chapter that has ever given me the same feelings as this when it comes to just straight up like yo energy. Straight up yo energy, man. That's the only way I can explain it. Straight up Santa hat, double Santa hat, phone finger, Jordan jersey, whatever. I don't think I've ever experienced a chapter in terms of just straight up action that has ever had me this hyped, man, and has ever lived this rent-free in my head. And it's because the two goats, man. It's because... Yo, listen to me. Listen to me. When you have a chapter, when you have 18, 19, whatever it was, amount of pages of greatness dedicated to the very best of Zoro. Look at that, bro. The hype has me losing my mind. I didn't even say this. You're not ready. I'm not ready. Rororo, our swordsman. When he puts on the bandana, people cower in fear. People are scared this man is going to bring a power from another series. They think he's holding the Sharingan under that eye. They ain't ready. The king. By the end of this arc, 150% recognized as an emperor in both strength, skill, authority, greatness, influence, you name it, he's there. He's probably gonna have a bounty in the 4 bills. Dude, listen, man. That code is something. That code is something. Since Luffy has equipped the coat, he was already the GOAT. But when he equipped the coat, there was just something that took place, man. I don't know if Oda, I mean, I know he's a massive fan of JRPGs, at least I'm assuming based on the way the series is structured and on what I believe to be a certain homages to certain JRPGs, but I guess we can get to that another day. But this man right here, man, since he's equipped this coat, it has taken his attributes up like by 50-fold. This man, Luffy in Onigashima, has had the most king energy that has ever come out of his system through the entire series. And he's always had that on max. But now he went even beyond max. Like my man Oda said, going beyond imagination. This man Luffy right now, the GOAT with a coat, Mugiwara, our captain. This dude is currently beyond max level when it comes to having that king energy coming out of his system. It's nuts. It is truly out of this world. When you are able to utilize what he did in this chapter, this sequence right here, ladies and gentlemen, is without question one of the most hype-inducing sequences that I think I've ever experienced, not just in One Piece, just in manga in general. And I know I'm biased because this is my series, but by the flag runners, how can I not be, man? Listen, bro. It's Kaido. This dude that has been hyped up for so long, man. I remember back whenever everybody thought this man was Meadows and Dressrosa. I mean, people were in fear. Doflamingo was scared. Law was shook. Everyone that we had met who talked about this dude was like, yo, he's a monster. They sent, Shanks himself stopped Kaido from going to meet up with Whitebeard and Marineford. I mean, man's has always been hyped up. And we actually get to see him and we see that he's The Rock and Brock Lesnar in one. And it's like, yo, he's living up to the legends. He's insanely, bro, my man's one-shotted the king early in this arc. And to see that my man Oda has been watching my videos and gave Luffy psi protection. You know what I mean? He gave him psi protection. He is allowing himself now to code himself in the king's haki. That was a psi protection all along. It was in front of our faces. It was in front of our faces from the very beginning, man. But to have this man, Luffy, get up from the 3 realms Ragnaroku and deliver this speech of legend after taking that, getting up like it never happened, and then having those shadowed out legendary scenes that we have in the series. You know, when a character is shadowed out, you don't see their face, whatever, you know they're about to go ham. But to have that and him saying, I'm definitely going to send you flying. Like, there is no doubt in my mind, you're going to go from point A to point B, son. Like, it ain't no joke no more, man. Then, to have the Yogoro flashback. Coding your... Bro, listen, man. From the very beginning of the arc, this is what I love so much about this series, where whenever you get to see payoff to insane amounts of buildup. When Luffy first lost to Kaido, and then we had the moments where he respected his King's Haki, you know, from the very beginning of the arc, we got to see that Luffy is becoming extremely proficient in utilizing his King's Haki. The way that he's using it at will is crazy. And then, of course, he's getting way more proficient in ornament and in observation as well. Ornament, especially when it comes to Rio, I saw a lot of the comments that we're talking about the differences between the two, between the quote-unquote electric Haki that I call it, which is, of course, now we know the Conqueror's coding Haki, and then the other side being the Rio, which is more focused on ornament and, you know, punching them. But then once you actually nail them in the impact, that's whenever it starts hitting you on the inside. Now imagine combining the two. That is what I'm interpreting, and what a lot of y'all were interpreting is what's taking place here, right? So we got to see the Conqueror's Haki coat with the Rio Haki. And so now it's a combination of, I can hit you from all the way back here. I don't have to touch you. In the same way that Goatbeard and Michael Jeffrey Roger didn't have to touch, but you clearly saw the impact coming out of the two. And that got a lot of focus. And now to see that with Luffy, the fact that Luffy is out here utilizing Roger and Whitebeard techniques against Kaido, it's too cold, man. It's too cold. This is my Pirate King, bro. Like, listen, man. This is stuff that was endgame to me. And even for me, I was the biggest advocate of Luffy beating Kaido. I feel like on YouTube, in terms of straight up just individuals wanting Luffy to 1v1 Kaido, I was up there as one of the most vocal ones. I was like, yo, I legitimately want them to have their 1v1 at some point. I just want it to happen, man. Like, I was just envisioning a Final Fantasy VII situation where it's like a massive battle and then just ends off in a 1v1. You know, let's see who got it. And that's what we're about to get. But the fact that it's not that everybody got wiped out. It's not that everybody can no longer fight. It's not that everybody's gone from here. No, it's that Luffy told him, in the words of George Lopez, I got this. Like, yo, like, yo, the king energy, bro. That's it. Yo, Luffy has been my for sure GOAT in this series for quite a few years now. But dog, like, this is just one of those, like, man, dude. Like, insanity, man. This sequence right here, this fighting sequence, when he finally goes up to him and he's like, yo, hold on, man. You're using Conquerors, aren't you? Like, you're using Conquerors in order to coach yourself in this, so these attacks they don't have to hit the individuals. Like, this is your strength with Conquerors. It's like, it's nuts. And so Kaido laughs, and then he tries to hit him from behind, because Kaido knows he just had to dodge an attack from Luffy, and then right before this, he took a straight up insane attack by Luffy's right hand man, which we're gonna get to in a second. But I gotta talk about the king, man. Listen, it can only be done by a handful of powerful individuals, and we had been discussing this in the reaction of like, yo, already assumptions are out of who can possibly do this as well. We've seen who else can do it, the top tiers in the verse of all time, in Roger and Whitebeard. And then, of course, my biggest assumption is Shanks, because we see how proficient he is in Haki, or at least how much I assume his entire crew, not only just Shanks, his entire crew is proficient in Haki, which is why I think we're getting so much of this now, so that we can see that later on, you know, whenever we get to their arc and to the end game, when we got to start seeing some real efficient Haki users in full-on battles, right? So we need to get explanations for that now, so it makes a lot more sense later. But at this point in time, man, when you see Luffy come out and do his iconic, the drop kick, getting the mace out of this is, you know, there are certain scenes when Luffy had that amazing battle with Crocodile, and, you know, with the blood and finally being able to strike him, like, yeah, I can finally hit you now. And then what followed that up with was some amazing panel choreography with him, like, stepping on his hook and just decking him. And it was just, yeah, I love that sequence. One of my favorite fighting sequences in the series. And I thought back to Hajime no Ippo as well. Now, I don't want to spoil Ippo for people, but, yo, the end of season 1, That attack, man, that's what I thought of right here, bro. Like, dude, him going in, delivering this kick, hitting the floor. Kaido shook. He's like, yo, he never even touched the mace. What's going on? I see the flowing haki. I see the electricity. It's going through his veins the same way the hype is going through our veins. Luffy goes in, goes right back towards him, delivers a punch of legend. I mean, just hits him right in the stomach. And then he hits him with what is, without a question, my favorite panel in this entire chapter, bro. He goes right back up and just decks this man Kaido in the chin with a Sendo Smash, bro. I mean, dude, with the flowing Conqueror's haki coating going right through it, he just... He's in base form. This is my goat in base form, doing damage to hybrid form Kaido, man. And it's just this pose with the coat coming down, it's flowing in the wind, and then directly after that, to have Kaido on the ground and Luffy still with his fist in the air on some Fist of the North Star stuff. Insanity, man. Insanity, bro. It is crazy to me that Luffy is able to do this right now. Like, it's just, he's out here. He's officially a legend among these seas when it comes to his fighting ability. It's nuts. It's nuts, man. But like I said before, what I love so much about this is that we saw the journey that it took to get this, man. I think that's why it's so satisfying. We saw all those chapters of failure and failure and failure and failure and success and failure, but never being able to work. And then, of course, it works in the way that anything should work, which is in the most drastic situations. My man has the clutch gene. When there's 5 seconds left on the clock, you give the ball to Luffy. You give it to him. A free kick at the end of the game? You don't give it to Messi? You don't give it to Ronaldo? I don't care who give it to. You give it to Luffy. You don't care, man. Yo, on the free to throw line at the very end, you give it to the kid. Look at his clutch gene. My man's clutch gene is double fold. Yo, man. Dude, the fact that this chapter had pudding, and that's the last thing in my mind, is a testament to how legendary this chapter is. This chapter was GOAT, man. It truly, bro, this might be one of, like, in my top 10. I know I've said that a million times in this arc, but how can I not? Onigashima's been so amazing. There are certain points where I'm like, it might already be my favorite arc. It might already be it, man. When you have these many amazing moments back to back to back, this man Oda has had this thing lately where he follows up one crazy chapter with an even more crazier chapter. Like, who does these things, man? You know, back in the Reverie, he was like, it just got crazier until it culminated with 908. And then you follow that up with, in 956, 957, you know, you go from Shichibukai greatness to the bounties of the Yonko. And then, excuse me, Roger and Wiper clashing. What do you follow up Roger and Wiper clashing with? Roger fighting the One Piece. What do you follow up Luffy going up to the rooftop in chapter 1000 with 3 straight chapters of the worst generation versus Big Mom and Kaido? It's like, I don't know how he does it, man. He just has this thing where he's like, oh, you thought that was crazy. The ink. It's like, what's going on? It's been nuts. But man, to see the continuation of the tag team attacks from last week, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen now with Big Mom, considering, first and foremost, what is going to happen with Kid? Now, Kid, to me, is not to be underestimated when it comes to what he can do. You know, if he is considered to be an equal to Luffy, I don't know if anybody is on right now, bro. After what I just witnessed, I may be in the heat of the moment, and I know I'm a fanboy, but I don't think Kid and Luffy are in the same tier right now, son. They're not in the same tier, bro. And that's no knock on Kid. I just think that man's in his own tier right now. He's up there in that Kaido and Big Mom tier after what I just saw, bro. He's in base form, boxing Kaido with his thing, bro. Like, come on. Regardless, man. I'm telling you, yo. I knew what this video was about to be, man. I was like, yo, there's no way I'm gonna be able to not hype up my boy for this start. It's just hard, man. This was too good. But listen, man. Now I gotta hype up my other boy, man. Before I hype him up, shout out to Law, because this man Trafalgar D. Water Law has gone through multiple situations within this fight where he has come in so clutch with just getting people out of the way, with always, thinking of things certain moments, and he always looks so cool while doing it. I mean, that injection shot to Kaido's throat was sick. It was sick, man. And so to have all of this taking place right here, injection shot, goes right in, curtain, And now with Prometheus and Napoleon going back down to Big Mom, you know, that's about to take place with Kid and Killer. I do wonder where that's going to go with Kid and Killer. With Kid and Killer versus Big Mom. I wonder how often we're going to be switching back and forth between those two things. And where is that battle going to take place? Because it looked like Kid and Killer went out to see the clouds, and I saw a lot of comments saying that those clouds are possibly going to be Big Mom creating a new Zeus. Now, Big Mom creating a new Zeus is huge for me, because I love me some Nami, man. And for Nami to get her Pokemon back, for Nami to get her rare, legendary, and Zeus, and to keep that thing, that would mean that what she said earlier, and getting a bigger storm involved, a stronger lightning, you know, it would actually come into fruition with being able to really hit a strike on ulti coming in from Zeus. And to have that would be the biggest power up that Nami could possibly get. It's already something that she's used before. Just to use it again now after Big Mom has traded away that Zeus for new Zeus, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. So hopefully that ends up being the case. And Big Mom is currently right now creating a brand new Zeus, or another thingamahoo to use, just like Prometheus and Zeus or whatever. Maybe it is a brand new soul she's going to create, or it is just another carbon copy of Zeus. But regardless, if she is planning on leaving Zeus behind because he is stuck in this thing and is going to use something else, that is open for that Nami greatness. So hopefully that ends up being the case. And since Zeus is inside of that box, it's literally going to be a Pokemon situation. Can you imagine the box going down to the floor, Nami just striking that thing once, like, yo, I choose you, cha-cha! Zeus pops out like, oh, what am I going to do? You want me to tail whip? What you want me to hit, son? You want me to flee? You want me to attack? What we got? Like, I would definitely be down for that. But I'm definitely interested in when it comes to that, because we see Kid and Killer out there looking out at the clouds as while they're standing over the cliff, you know, waiting for that to take place. So I do wonder if the rest of their battle is going to take place on this roof as well, or are they going to move this battle elsewhere? Because it looks like Luffy and Kaido are really about to tear this thing apart up here, man, and just throwing hands. So we'll see where that takes place, dude. But when we get back to Zoro here, man, Zoro this week, I'm talking, yo, the impressiveness of my boy was like in the skyrocketing. I mean, it's just, my man's has been showing out so much within this entire rooftop section. Throughout all of Roof Piece, it feels like Zoro has been showing out as much, or if not the most, out of all of the characters. It's like between him and Luffy, and it makes sense considering who the two are. But he has been showing out so much within this section of the story, and to see that his biggest feat and his biggest showcase was not only in a moment where it was the final moment he's potentially going to have on this rooftop before he goes elsewhere, but it was at his most injured. After tanking an attack from Big Mom and Kaido, he goes in with full Enma slash, injured, and delivers the nastiest Ashura. My man's blade was roaring on some Bleach stuff, man. It was doing a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You know when the aura would start feeding on Bleach? This man proceeds to deliver one of the nastiest lines. Like, yo, hold on, man, what you doing? That's my cap. That's my captain. And you're planning on doing what exactly? Like, hold on now, man. And we get treated to this amazing double page spread. We got a beautiful colored version of this that I saw that was just absolutely amazing. Just phenomenal. And to see the Ashura again after so long, one of the coolest looking techniques in the entire series. But against Kaido, it just hits. Like, anything against Kaido hits different. It does, because we recognize that this is an individual with so much durability that my man has attempted to die on multiple different occasions and it just doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. So to see damage being done to him, and it's being done by our squad, it's being done by Luffy and Zoro going up in like swimwear. This man Zoro left a legit wound on Kaido. He slashed Kaido, bro, with this. And this while he's injured. Like, can you imagine a fresh Zoro coming off the bench, going up there and delivering a thing? That chest was going to be gone. They would have been cleaved in half, son. But man, dude, what an amazing moment. One of the most hype moments, dog. Just thinking about this, I had to go back and rewatch the Purgatory Onigiri scene against Killer. Yeah, just to get the hype out, because man, To see the return of the Ashura against Kaido. This is gonna be so nasty in the anime. In the anime, this chapter legitimately has the potential to be the greatest episode in the One Piece anime. I mean, it real deal has the potential to be better than episode 870 when it comes to just pure on action, from an action standpoint. It really does. It really does, because Luffy versus Conqueror in that final section was absolutely spectacular. But the thing is, to have Luffy and Zoro doing what they're doing here against Kaido, that's on a different type of level, man. Like, this is an emperor, son. We know that each attack carries so much weight behind it. So much weight because of who they're doing it against, man. And just, what an amazing culmination to all of these Roof Beast chapters and to the boss battle section of the Roof Beast chapters. You know, to this volume's length, because I think this should be around the end of this volume. It's around there, but to end off the boss battle section of the Roof Beast chapters, what better way than for the MVP of this entire thing, you know, to just deliver another strike on Kaido, real deal showcasing exactly who he is around these parts, man. And it's just so incredible, man. Like, to see my boys showing out like this, and then to get the confirmation that the Bandana Man, the Master Swordsman, officially has Conqueror's haki. It's just, we all knew it. We all had a feeling. I know in my case, you know, just based on what Conqueror's haki is, just the concept of haki and will, you know, imposing your will on others, and what it means to conquer, what it means to, you know, go out and achieve your dream at whatever it takes, or just what is your will towards? Like, is your will towards to protect? Is it to chase something? Is it to be free? Whatever, but that will has to be strong. You have to have a really, really strong will to have Conqueror's haki in this series. And we know how strong Zoro's will is. We've seen it multiple times. I mean, Rayleigh has it. The parallels are there. He's got to have it. And then we think back to a couple of those scenes, like the one I always think back to is the one in Sabaody, just recently, which happened in 197 and whatnot. You know, there's been little bits and pieces of like, yo, he probably does have it. But to have it come from Kaido, who we now know has to have extreme levels of proficiency when it comes to this stuff, just based on what Luffy said to him about, you know, being able to code himself in the Conqueror's haki. But for Zoro to officially have this now, I cannot wait until that's brought into fruition, man. I cannot wait until we get to see it with our own eyes. Zoro's version, or just Zoro utilizing Conqueror's haki, regardless of whether it is him utilizing it in his blades, or him using it with the, you know, the power whenever he knocks other people out. Like when Luffy knocks other people out, seeing Zoro do something like that would be super amazing. But as far as Conqueror's haki is concerned, now I kind of want to go back and see some of his most recent battles and see, was that Conqueror's haki the whole time? Whenever you have the aura coming out of his blades. Because it is a bit different, at least from the way that the anime has shown it, in comparison to the black reddish type of haki that we see coming out of Roger and Whitebeard and theirs. But hey man, it could be the early stages of it or something, who knows? Because the thing is, with stuff like Diablo Jumble and Ashura, we never really got a legitimate explanation as to what those are. You know, there was a lot of speculation in terms of what they could be, and for me, I always just saw them as a version of their own haki and a manifestation of their spirit and whatnot. But to see this right here, that could have very well been the early stages of that, man, right there. But extremely exciting stuff. Just to see Zoro continue to go for like so more against this man Kaido, it's just it hits. It hits, man. I mean, the ultimate tag team, the ultimate duo, doing what they do best within this chapter. And then just to follow that up, well, he's like, hold on, man. The fact that Kaido's gonna have a scar left behind by Zoro from now on is so sick to me, man. He goes in, Raime Hake's both of them out of there, and that's whenever Luffy and him start throwing hands. Now, when it comes to the way this rest of this battle is going to take place, which is what has me super excited, because it really does feel like this is only going to get better, which is crazy to me because it feels like I've seen the very best multiple different times, and I always come on here saying, yo, I don't know how he's gonna surpass it, but he always ends up doing it. This chapter right here was so special, and we aren't even in the final portion of this fight yet. Luffy has not utilized his Conqueror's haki coding or real haki, and this combination he has of the two with Gear 4th yet. And I'm interested now in whether or not Luffy's going to go through all of the gears. I'm interested because now, right now, at this point in time, he's in gear in his base form, right? So just imagine a situation where right after this he goes into Gear 2nd, and then he goes Gear 2nd with the Conqueror's haki coding, and just starts wailing on Kaido, and then Kaido comes back and he starts wailing on him with his Conqueror's haki coding as well. Just straight up throwing hands. Luffy goes into Gear 3rd. We start seeing stuff like the elephant gun and the red rock and all that stuff, but with the Conqueror's haki coding. Like, yo, everything from now on is gonna be 10 times more sick. Just seeing the flowing electric Conqueror's haki coding on his abilities. It's gonna be so beast. Can you imagine an elephant Gatling coming down with all that happening? Oh, that's gonna be sick. That's gonna be amazing. The red hawk. Man, dude, the Kong gun, King Kong Gatling, like, yo, it's gonna be nuts. And I can't wait to see what new techniques he's also about to bring out here as well. After seeing Red Rock, can't wait to see what else he's gonna have for us here, man. And God, if we get to Gear 4th Snake Man, which it has to get to that point just in terms of speed, and to have that level of speed, man, between Gear 4 Snake Man and Kaido with how quick he is, that's going to be nuts. I look forward to seeing how Oda is going to be able to choreograph all that stuff, and eventually whenever Toei gets to it, how they're going to end up animating it, man, because all of this stuff is going to be crazy. All of this stuff is going to be crazy if they give it the same amount of attention and the same amount of love that they've been giving the rest of the arc. Because, son, if they do, we are in for that section in the anime of Roof Piece being the absolute best from an action standpoint that we have had in the entire series. And it is going to be so GOAT, man. Like, man, dude, what a chapter. What a time. I mean, seriously, what a time. These past couple of months of reading this, you know, honestly, for me, it's been insane for God knows how long. But in terms of the weekly experience being like, wow, man, you've got to be part of this. Like, man, I think back to the end of Whole Cake, and it's just like, from the end of Whole Cake to Reverie, and then all of Wano, the sections we've gotten from Wano, there's just been so many spectacular moments. And it's insane to me to believe that 2021 could possibly be the very best one out of all of them yet. Because this year has been off to such a strong start. We've already had, this year started off 1,000. We've had, as far as my rating system goes, like 6 out of 10 chapters. 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. What is it? I want to say 1,008, 9, 10? 7? And this is just the ones that are on the roof. I love the chapter with Black Maria and Robin, right, and whatnot. So it's like, man, dude, this series is hitting right now, bro. This entire deal, the 1,000s in this story, the 4 digits, like, they're gonna be in legend, man. It's just like with other series, whenever after they get to a certain point, you're like, man, hold on a minute, bro. Like, it gets nuts. It gets really crazy. Like, that's gonna be us with the 1,000s. It's gonna be like, man, whenever we see other people catching up, we're just thinking in the back of our minds, like, just wait till you get to Roof Piece. Just wait until you get to the Roof Piece greatness. But man, this is hitting. This is hitting, man. This was legit one of my favorite chapters in the entire series. No question. Without a single shadow of a doubt, this was up there for me, man. And it was just wonderful for me from character standpoints and from, you know, a standpoint of just crazy feats. Like, yo, just seeing them go out here and do this cool stuff, but doing it against Kaido. and getting the respect, man. Like Zoro getting Kaido's respect there. He's like, don't worry, man. It's gonna leave a scar. It's gonna leave a scar. That should be good enough for you, right? But now with Luffy being like, son, we're about to go down. It's gonna be a 1v1, and I got this. Greatness is inbound, man. Greatness is incoming. And dude, I really wanted to come on here and talk about things in a more in just a different type of light, but my brain is still shot from that chapter, man. Like, it's just pure, just energy flowing out of my head, man. I can't help it, nor do I want to help it, man. This is something that you want to feel. Yeah, man, not much to add. So, 20 something minutes later, not much to add, man. Same way I was feeling on when I initially read the chapter, but just had to come on here and talk about it some more because it's been rent-free in my mind, and I can't stop thinking about it. Just knowing that Luffy is now out here. We've gotten that multiple times within the past 100 chapters, confirmations that, hold on, man, he's out here. And last week with him being like, hey, don't look at the potential. Look at the me that's here now. Back in 903, whenever all the Yonko were like, hold on, man, he ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet, man. And laughing at him, being like, nah, not yet. Okay. We get to this point. Oh, he's here now. And you better be ready to deal with him. You better be ready to deal with the legends now, man. I don't know what's about to happen with Zoro. I am genuinely curious on what's going to take place with him down below in terms of where does he go from here? Does now he go on take on King? Because I'm going to assume he's about to get healed by either Marco or Chopper, right? And he's going to go up and now he's going to take on King or whoever it is. But now we'll see. We'll see what happens. Or is this it for Zoro, not for the rest? I don't think this is it for Zoro for the rest of the arc. I think he is going to get healed by either Marco or Chopper. And then he's going to go in against someone. Someone's going to take it. But we'll see what happens, man. At this point, I don't even want to theorize. I don't even want to think about the future. We're just going to let it come as it comes. Because it's hidden. This stuff is incredible. This is truly like... This is Marineford levels of greatness when it comes to just on a consistent basis, quality chapters that just can hit you either emotionally, character moments, hype moments, action, awesome sauce. But all in all, it's that One Piece greatness. And that's what Roof Piece has been, man. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Let's go. This has been the Afterthoughts. Y'all take care. I do wonder what takes place now, man. Like, especially with Zoro. Like, what happens now with Zoro now that he's no longer going to be on this rooftop? I remember seeing the comment from Manga Detectives that was talking on the lines of him taking out a dragon on some Ryuma stuff. And I think that would be super dope. So many things to think about, but my head is just like, yo, oh man, love it out here, man.